Appreciate you being on, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Finally.
Yeah. Sorry, we full disclosure. I think we talked about this a minute ago. I want to say like it was months ago about you being on, right? And this is actually like like a full disclosure for like everybody. If I've had conversations with you about being on the podcast and then like we stop talking, that is not a thing of like me not wanting you on. It is 100% my fault. Usually I'm like doing something else and I forget, or perhaps like something gets thrown on my lap and then I have to like kind of pivot. So it's not from a lack of wanting you on. Obviously you are on. It's just one of those things where if it's out of sight for me, it's kind of out of mind. So forgive me.
It was the same for me. It's like I don't have a fight coming up. I want to do it when I have something coming up and talk about it.
Why? You wanted to talk about a fight specifically?
No, not really that. I just wasn't in the right mindset of I want to get interviewed right now. I
Gotcha.
felt like it's the right time.
So to piggyback off of that, because I don't know if you do have a fight coming up right now. Do you have a fight coming up
Yes,
right now?
I am fighting Reed Day. He lost to Reggie Morris last night. I'm fighting Reed Day for the kickboxing belt.
Under which promotion?
Fight Sports.
Oh, for Ian Zarvos.
Yep.
No shit. Okay. So that one was a Muay Thai fight. This would be a kickboxing fight.
Yes.
That'd probably be my first question. We were talking a little bit off the record, but that's a perfect segue. I'm curious, Chris, why you decided to go into boxing, kickboxing, and not other forms of martial arts. Like there's obviously MMA, there's Muay Thai, there's other forms of combat that you could have gravitated towards, but you chose boxing and kickboxing. I'm curious why that is.
I just like the striking arts, really. Anything with striking. I did ground when I was a kid, but I was like, it just got burnt out. I'm like,
Not for you.
not for me.
Is it that, would it be so far as to say that you don't like MMA in the grounds, or is it just that you prefer stand up?
I prefer stand up.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't compete in MMA, but I would do ground training when I'm not competing and focus on competition in boxing and kickboxing.
And then what is your role within the church? Is it the only gym you train out of? Is it one of the gyms you train out of? I'm curious to see like how do you handle training?
It's the main gym I'm training at for kickboxing. I also have a boxing coach as well. But I'm pretty much Jamie's assistant. Something happens, he can't make it. He sees if I could cover the
Cover
class.
the classes and stuff like that. Like when he has a baby, for instance.
Yes.
No, he was. I saw him last night as well. Were you up there last night at Ian Zarvos' show?
No,
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Shout out to Ian because it was like banger after banger after banger of a fight card. It was crazy. It was like every fight was just exciting. There was either a knockout, a TKO, or it was just a well matched competitive fight. It was one of the better cards I've seen in a while. I still say though that that last stand up fight series that we went to with Lordzilla was probably one of the best cards I've ever seen in my life. Just wanted to take a second to pause the action and just tell you guys thank you so much for consuming our content. Easy Talk is a passion project. This podcast is just a bunch of like-minded people coming together to produce some cool stuff and talk to some cool people. One of the things I would very much appreciate is if you could possibly like the video or subscribe to the channel, just because it helps us in the algorithm and ultimately to grow, to get more exposure to everybody, including ourselves, and ultimately just make a better product. Take a second, I'd greatly appreciate it, and on with the show. That shit was wild. So shout out to Chad, shout out to Ian.
Fight Sports always has good fights. Ever since I've been kickboxing, I'm like, okay, there's always exciting fights.
Yeah.
Up and down. There's not one fight that's going to be boring or one-sided usually.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. There was the first one that I went to, and it was exactly what I thought it would be. So good job to them. With this fight coming up, I'm curious. What do you see with your career? What do you see with martial arts? Like, what do you want out of the sport? Do you want to go pro and money and fame? Do you want to open up a gym one day? Do you just want to be a trainer? Or is this just like, I'm just having fun?
It's a lifestyle. I want to do both. I want to go pro and then just make an impact. Like for people that are autistic, that you could do something you want to do.
Is that like a calling you feel when you say
Yes.
it's a lifestyle and you want to
Yes.
you want to make a difference? Can you kind of elaborate? Like when you say you want to make a difference, in what way? As like a role model? Do you want to incorporate your lifestyle and help more people with autism? Like,
Yeah, yes. I want them to look like if they feel like they can't do something, he's autistic. He did what he wanted to do.
is that something that you had to overcome yourself?
Yes.
Do you mind if we talk about
Oh,
that a
yeah.
little bit? Like when I want to before we start getting into this topic, I want to say on the record what I said off the record. There are a lot of things about autism that I'm ignorant towards. So if any of my questions seem a little obtuse or rude, forgive me. I'm genuinely trying to understand.
Okay.
How old were you when you first like realized that you have this thing called autism? Like when was it apparent to you?
When I was like a little kid, 6, 7, I was never really diagnosed until I was training under somebody that was a counselor. New behavior told me, hey, told my mother he has Asperger's.
And then what was the reaction from your family?
My mom always knew,
Yeah.
just nothing but support, really.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, your old man's here as well, so
Yeah.
um when you found out that you had autism, did it affect you in any way at that age, or was it something that you didn't really kind of wrap your head around until you were older?
I didn't wrap my head until I was older. I kind of knew I was always different, but I accepted it. I never let it define what I was going to do, or I just always was myself.
Yeah. Did it ever affect any of your decisions to go into martial arts? Like, was anyone around you maybe thinking like, "Hey, maybe you shouldn't do this"? Because one of the things that we were talking about off the record was, I mean, especially all combat sports are hard on the body and the mind, right? By virtue of the nature of the business. Was there any sort of pushback from those around you or even yourself when you were thinking about getting into martial arts about like, I'm going to get into a very violent sport where there's going to be a lot of head trauma?
No, I just always liked it since I was a kid. My dad used to play Bruce Lee movies. I would watch it, say again, repeat the fight scene. So it's pretty much since I was little, I knew.
You always gravitated towards it.
Yep.
So in a lot of ways, do you feel like you're kind of living out that lifestyle now currently?
Yes. It's just a way I feel at peace expressing myself.
Mm.
When I fight, I don't view it as we're going to get brain damage or stuff. I view it I'm expressing myself and showing my heart.
Do you feel like you're able to do that outside of fighting, or do you feel like fighting is the easiest way for you to kind of reach that point?
I could do it. I can do it outside of fighting. It's the easiest way, and it's the way I like to express myself.
Mm.
Always uplifting and being positive.
I know that you're competing now, like actively, but we were talking earlier about how your position within the church and your relationship with Jamie is kind of like the assistant, right? So I'm sure there's some times where you're teaching classes or doing privates or helping out people. What is that experience like? And does that give you some of the same emotions that you get from fighting? So even though you're not necessarily fighting yourself, you're still engrossed in martial arts. Do you still feel like coaching or cornering or training people gives you some of that same feeling?
Yes, I actually feel like it helps me out. I like it better because it gives me I'm helping somebody grow and something I like to do. By having everybody grow, it just makes me feel happy seeing everybody in the gym get better.
God bless. So to go back to my original question of like what you want from this sport, you told me that for you this is a lifestyle and that you want to use this as like a means to inspire people specifically with autism, and obviously everybody else as well. The next question I have for you is to what extent do you want to kind of lift the torch for that movement? Do you want to be known as the fighter with autism, or do you just want to be known as a fighter? Like, what is what is the vision that you have for yourself, or how would you like to be seen by people?
I would like to be seen by people that no matter what obstacles was in front of me, I kept going forward and I always uplifted everybody around me. And for autistic people, I want them to realize you could go after your dreams too.
Mm.
I want to be that role model. You see, okay, he achieved this, he achieved that.
Did you ever feel like did you ever feel like you had roadblocks because of autism? Like when you say that you're trying to inspire people to kind of overcome this thing, I'm curious if you felt like you had some hurdles that you had to overcome
Oh
yourself.
yeah, I still have hurdles. I can't really cut straight. I can't really write the neatest. But I
By
realize,
the way, it's all men. Have you ever seen my
yeah.
like signature, bro? I you're not alone on that one. So
But with martial arts, I realized because there's a hyper focus in being autism and patterns. You spot patterns easier. I notice when I'm watching the fight, I'll pick up on if he's tired, if he what he's doing, and just being able to. It helps. It gives me that ability. Okay, I'm gonna adjust faster.
mm,
That's what I feel like since I've been.
I do agree with you when you're talking about martial arts, specifically in competition, understanding like the nuances and seeing those patterns. Chris, do you think that in a lot of ways fighting is more simple than other aspects of life?
I would say it's simple, but it's also the same. There's hardships in everything we do. And with fighting, it's just an expression of I'm going to show myself. You're going to see the confidence if I'm confident. You're going to see if a fighter's backing up after getting hit. You're going to see if he's timid. It shows everything.
Is there any part of you that enjoys like this is gonna sound kind of fucked up, but it's I liked like oh man, I gotta take a step back. When I was fighting, it made me feel like a man when I would cause damage and win fights. Like I love martial arts and I love everything that martial arts has given me, but I also like winning. And a big reason why I fell in love with martial arts was competition and because I was winning. So I know that you're saying that you enjoy, certain aspects of this to be a role model and all that, but I am curious too, like, do you like fighting? Like, do you like hitting people? Do you like,
Yes.
winning fights and dominating people? Like, it sounds weird, but there's like a visceral,
I
you
like
know,
I like winning fights and dominating and hitting people. It's just to me it's fun. It's not nothing serious. I don't really care about winning or losing. I just want to know I gave it my best
mm,
and fought someone that tested me.
mm. Your style of fighting is, I describe you as like a Tasmanian devil, where, I mean, you are just from bell to bell, like high volume,
Hmm.
nonstop. I'm curious, is that something that you like always felt? Is that something that you were taught like by a trainer? But like from your first fight, did you always fight like this? Where I mean, you're throwing maybe like 100 punches and kicks in a minute, which is
Yeah.
for any fighter that understands that that's insane. That's an insane pace. So I'm curious, has that always been your style?
Yes. Ever since I was little,
Little.
high pressure style. I learned more skills as I went, but I realized I think at a high pace
Mm,
because I have autism. I think at a high pace. I see it. Okay, that's to me that's calm. Most people
wow.
get frustrated. That's normal.
So it's not even that you think you're going fast. To you, it's just like
It's
this
just
is my pace.
yep.
That's insane in a good way. God bless everybody that fights you. Because I saw you fight at NFA, I want to say a couple months ago, if not maybe closer to a year ago. And from like the opening bell, I was like, Jesus Christ, brother! Like you just don't fucking stop.
It was when I fought Ty Prackett in the fight.
Yes, yes, that was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. So, and also Ty Brackett's also been on the podcast, and I also think the world of him as well. So, like to see both of you guys fighting, I was like, wow.
I wanted to fight ever since my first kickboxing fight. I seen him fight.
Ty
I,
Brackett,
I'm like, I knew we were gonna fight. I told Jamie, I want this fight. I want to fight him.
because you respected him, because you saw something in him. Like why that fight specifically?
I saw, okay, he has a name. He's skilled. I want to test myself. I want to see where I'm at.
Mm.
Fights like that make me train harder and go harder in the gym.
You said that your next fight coming up is for Ian Zarvos for their belt. How much longer do you want to stay amateur? Like, is there any sort of? Let me ask the question in a better way. Actually, what do you want to accomplish as an amateur before you're like, okay, now is the time to go pro. Now is everything's done.
Get a few belts, win a few kickboxing belts, and make it where you have to pay me for my value now. When I go pro, if I don't have status or nothing, you can't. I can't say I'm at the bottom end of the stick, really.
Well, I would make the argument that you're pretty valuable as is. So, like, if you think that you need to win belts to somehow justify that, like, people should pay you now, I can tell you right now, you deserve money now. So, outside of that, do you think maybe it's like also a subconscious thing? Like, you are sort of like validating yourself, like, see, I'm the champion in all these things. It's time for me to make this leap. Because I'll make the argument, and I say this a lot in MMA, that when you get to a certain point as an amateur, I mean, once you get to the point where you have like 8 or 9 fights, everybody else that you're fighting has also had 8 or 9 fights. So you could be like this regional amateur who's, kind of crushing it. And the caliber of fighter that you're going to have to fight is actually greater than if you were to go and make a pro debut. Because when you make your pro debut, you're 0-0 again. You can fight another guy who's 0-1 or 1-0 or 0-0. And in a lot of cases, when I was an amateur, I bumped up to from 135. I bumped up to 145 and won some belts as well because I was looking for a challenge. I was thinking to myself like, am I good enough to be pro? Am I only winning fights because I'm a 35er? Like let's challenge myself, right? And I knew that for myself, like I could have gone pro at 8-0. I was the 135-pound champion, undefeated, whatever. But I wanted to. There was like some doubt in me. I'm like, okay, am I only winning because of this weight class? Like, let's bump up to 145 and let's see how I do. When I won those fights, it kind of eliminated all that doubt that I had. And I was like, okay, I can go pro. And then my very first pro fight was easier than the last three fights I had as an amateur. So I was like, huh, this is kind of anticlimactic. I was making this pro debut, like this big thing in my head, and then it happened, and I was like, oh, my last three fights were harder than this, you know? So my question to you is, do you think like when you say like you need to get the belts and you need to do all this stuff to kind of add the value, do you think you're kind of doubting yourself a little bit? Like you don't think you have the value today?
No, it's not that. I just want to have it as an achievement of my life. I got an amateur belt. I got all these things that I wanted to do.
So it's more of like checking a box of
Yep.
like, I did it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair, dude. Belts are nice too.
Yep.
Can't complain with that. So then, this one's for a belt. Is this the only belt you want? Like, my question to piggyback off of that is like, how much longer do you want to be an amateur? A year, 2 years? When you say you want to accumulate these belts,
Maybe two at most. Maybe a year. I don't know.
and how old are you currently?
22.
Oh yeah, you're young. You're young. I didn't go pro till I was 25, so you got some time.
I want to get this one at 35 because the most I weigh is like 38.
Is that what you walk around at?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I've seen you fight it exclusively at 25. I don't think I've. No,
I
when
fought.
you fought Crump at Stand Up Fight Series, wasn't that at 35?
Yep.
Okay.
But Jamie just does that because it's just so hard to get 25. So
Really?
most of my career was at 35.
Even though you're not really a 35er.
Yep.
Well, here's the other thing though too, because I'll say this, you know, if you're 22 years old, I mean, I don't know about for other men, but for me, I felt like I was going through puberty, not like puberty, like teenager puberty, but like my body was changing up until about 24, 25. At 24, 25 years old, my body stopped changing. I stopped getting taller. I stopped developing any extra muscle just from not doing anything. So I think, I mean, I don't know, but you might also start experiencing some changes still until like the next 2 years. You might still grow a little bit. You might still pack on a few more pounds. Like, who knows? Is it hard to get to 25 for you? Because you're kind of a skinny guy.
No, it's not that hard. I just follow Jamie's water loading system and cutting weight, and I make it no problem.
Relatively easy. Have you ever thought about 15?
No,
No. Okay.
I'm not going that far. I'm not.
At least we all have a number in our head. um, I kind of want to. I kind of want to ask a question that's a little deeper about the autism thing, if you don't mind me asking. And that's kind of to do with like this administration, right? So with the Trump administration, with RFK Jr. and the Maha movement, and I don't even necessarily know if this is like something on your radar, but the autism as a category has kind of been shoved into the light of the attention of the world, right? Specifically speaking, how over the course of time, it seems that the diagnosis of autism has become more and more prevalent, more and more common, right? I think they say something around, it was like 60 years ago, it was like 1 in 200 kids had autism, and now it's like 1 in 16, right? Which is a drastic change in a relatively short amount of time. Do you pay attention to any of these things?
No, I never have. I never.
Just because it doesn't interest you, or it's just something that you just don't find value in? Like, because you want to be a paragon for athletes with autism or just individuals with autism. I just didn't know if perhaps also the landscape in which that's being researched or talked about interests you as well.
It does, in a sense, it doesn't, because a lot of people say, I can't do this because I'm autistic. I've seen it in school. I'm like, you can. You can do anything you put your mind to. You just got to believe you can do it.
While I agree with that, let me ask my question in a different way. Does the advancement of research into autism interest you at all?
Actually, yes, I would like to know more about it.
Yeah,
because
that's kind of what I was asking. Was like, does that interest you? So
there's different levels. I'm more of your higher functioning, So most people can't tell unless you've seen or been around people that are autistic.
Do you have any siblings?
No.
Just one and only?
Yep.
Got it done on the first one. Boom. Um, man, I don't know how to ask this in a way that doesn't make me look like an asshole. Have you thought about the rest of your life, implying, obviously fighting is one aspect of you,
Yeah.
but it is not all of you. Are there things that you do outside of fighting that also kind of give you some of that same good vibes or the ability to kind of, hyper focus on something which for someone like you that thinks the way you do kind of accentuates you? Or is fighting kind of that only outlet that you have?
No, actually helping others with their stuff. Like if I'm cool with somebody and they need help, I like helping others.
Really? Where do you think that comes from? Just a good moral compass? You've always been this way?
I've always been that way. Giving a helping hand.
God bless. Chris, what is it that you want to be known for? Do you want to be known as the good fighter? Do you want to be known as the helpful hand? Do you want to be known as the guy that overcame autism to achieve his goals? Like, what is the thing that you would strive for as that top title?
To be a good person, to impact as many lives as I can. If it's through autism and fighting, whatever, I just want to be known for being the honest, loving, caring man.
God bless. This is the first time that I've gotten to sit down and talk with you, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm getting this overwhelming sense of humility and grace. I noticed that you have a cross on. If you don't mind me asking, how important is your faith to you?
It's everything.
Hmm.
To me, it's like a way of life. Like I pray to God before doing something. Show me a sign.
Do you find that church and your faith help in all these aspects of your life?
Yes. I feel like it makes it more at peace. Like if I'm ever freaking out or something's going wrong, I just talk to God and I just feel calm.
God bless. I'd like to, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a step back. What has the church and Jamie Crozen and that gym, what has that done for you?
It's made me a better person overall. I love Jamie. That's my guy. I feel like no coach in the world is better than him.
Really?
Yep.
Just you guys vibe?
Yep. I've never.
How'd you meet Jamie?
I met Jamie. I hit him up. I saw a few stand-up fight series cards in the early. I'm like, I want to get back into kickboxing because I was just competing in boxing.
Mm.
So I hit him up, and then we just.
You're like, hey, I want to train with you?
Yep.
What'd he say?
He said,
Dope,
yeah,
come through?
Yep, come through, yep.
Did he have the church at the time, or was it just like at the garage still?
He had the church at the time.
Gotcha. So you weren't there for like the out of the garage and in Frontelet Park days. I'm immensely impressed with him. To see what he's been able to create and how he did it has been really inspiring. And also to see the kind of people that he has at the gym, because, and I don't think he'd mind me saying this because we've had the conversation before, is like, if you go to every gym, there's kind of a vibe, right? Like there's a culture is a better way to describe it. And the culture at Jamie's gym at the church is one of like, you're getting a lot of the misfits, a lot of the people that society may have written off or perhaps like have been through something and kind of carry that trauma on them. But then they find this place where they can, hone a craft and heal. Because I do believe that martial arts is a therapy. I know it is for me.
I know it is for myself as
Yeah.
well.
Can we speak about that, if you don't mind? When I say that martial arts is a therapy for me, it's in two ways. Number one, just the physical exertion, right? I think that all men, I can't speak for women, but I know that for all men, you need some sort of physical outlet. There's just too much energy, and our lifestyle nowadays is just not one that's conducive to like exerting yourself, right? So there's that aspect, like the physical therapy. But then it's also the mental of like, I don't know how best to describe it other than it just clears my cobwebs. Whatever I got going on that day, maybe I'm worried about money or my business or being a better father or whatever. I'll go to the gym or I'll go wrestle with the kids or something because I also coach myself. And it's just like 1 2 hours, and then I don't know what it is, but I'll leave there and I'll just feel like lighter, like a pound lighter. You know what I mean? Like there's just a little bit of that stress, a little bit of that weight is kind of off my shoulders. But when you say it's a therapy, is it similar to that or is it different?
It's very similar. It's like it's a way of also express yourself, and it relaxes you. People when they work out, they get calm because you release a happy hormone.
Mm.
That's why we all when we work out or do something, it's like we're sidetracking the brain. So once you sidetrack that brain, your mood's gonna change. And plus, seeing people like at the church, everybody's always in a good mood. Everybody's a family aspect compared to most of the gyms I've been to.
You don't think it's necessarily the same elsewhere?
Yeah, I've never experienced that type of vibe.
Well, maybe it's also that the culture there is just more conducive to someone like you. Maybe these are your people. They might not look like you, but these are your people. Maybe that's just what it is as well.
Yeah,
Black,
for,
white, tatted, short, tall,
for
fat,
sure, for
skinny.
sure,
Doesn't matter.
for sure. It doesn't matter.
Can I also ask another question if you don't mind me asking? You're on a podcast. Why would you mind me asking? Do you feel like you get a lot of the social needs taken care of because of the gym atmosphere, because of martial arts? I don't talk like outside of this podcast and outside of the fight community. I don't really go up to a whole lot of people and start conversations. I don't know about you. You know what I mean? For me, I noticed, especially last night, that every card I go to, like every fight card I go to, it's almost like this high school reunion where like I'm like, oh, Jamie's here and Kevin Ingles there and the state guys and oh, there's Mike Rogers and like everybody dabs everybody up, everybody says hi to everybody, the guys that are fighting, the guys that aren't fighting. And I realized last night like how much I enjoy that social atmosphere of like-minded individuals. I'm curious if that's similar for you. If you feel like the guys at the gym and then when you go to cards, like this is like I don't want to say like a happy place, but like a sanctuary. It's like, oh man, if I'm crazy for fighting, everybody here is crazy.
It's a good time. Like the gym, everybody says hi. Or when I go to the cars, everybody always asks, "When you fighting again? When you fighting again?" I like that. I like that people like to see me fight as well.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel better, or gives me more motivation to go to the gym.
Do you want to be known as an exciting fighter or a fighter that wins?
I'd rather be known as a fighter that gave it his best
Mm.
and fought with his heart.
You're using certain words kind of more than once. Words like expression, words like heart, words like overcoming. Do you feel like you have something to prove?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. I have nothing to prove to nobody.
Okay.
I'm just doing what I love to do:
And that is causing
fighting,
brain damage to people.
fighting, training, helping others.
Is it ever lost on you that martial arts is one of the most violent things that you could do and also one of the most helpful slash caring things that you could do? It's a very oxymoronic topic to discuss, but you could be in the gym and you're helping somebody work on a combination or whatever, and then they might use that combination to separate somebody from their consciousness. Have you ever thought about that?
I never thought about it like that. But you gotta remember the opponent's trying to do the
Trying to
same
do the
thing.
same. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We all signed up for this. It was one of the things that I was thinking about last night because I'll tell you what's changing in me, Chris. I'm becoming a pussy. Like I used to love fighting. Like I used to watch guys get knocked out, and I was like, hell yeah! Like let's see that again. Last night, I don't know. I think something's changing in me. Like I think I'm getting soft, like normal people. But like I was seeing guys get hurt and hit and all this other stuff, and I was like, oh yeesh. I don't know what's happening to me. Maybe I'm getting domesticated. I don't know. But last night was weird. It was like the old me that when I was fighting, I was like, fuck yeah, let's see blood. You know what I mean? Last night I was like, oh, I hope both guys can walk away from this better men and no one gets super hurt, even though we're talking about shins to chins. Um, do you ever like dwell on any of these thoughts of like the people that you're training could then one day go out and compete? And do you ever feel like any sort of stress or responsibility? Because if you go out there, like okay, training someone just for like working out to lose weight, that's one thing, right? Training someone to fight, that's a different thing. because they're going to go out there and they're going to compete and they're going to get punched, they're going to get kicked. And I know that for myself as like a coach, I feel like this like overwhelming responsibility that if they go out there and they have a bad performance, I failed them. I'm curious to see if you have any of these thoughts, or how do you view coaching, or even at the assistant level, or just training someone. Like, how do you view that?
I view it as it's actually more stressful to me
Than fighting?
than fighting itself, because I'm not in control. I could guide you, but you have to do it. You have to put in the work. Fighting, I know I put in the work. I'm in control.
Mm.
And I don't want to see nobody out trying to get hurt, get knocked out, or so it's more like you more become like a parent aspect of it's like a kid. A coach to fighter is like you gotta watch out.
I agree. I agree. I felt more anxiety and more emotion and more stress when anybody that I knew was fighting, or anybody that I coached, or anybody that I cornered, or anybody that I trained, because I was like, oh man, I just want you to have a good performance. I want you to go in, take no damage, dish out damage, and then go hug your family. When all is said and done with fighting, let's say you're done with competition, obviously martial arts is a way of life for you. Have you also thought about life after you're older and you can't compete anymore? Would you ever want to open up your own gym? Would you ever want to become like a, maybe not open up your own gym, but I don't know, like get like a, talk to Jamie, maybe open up a gym together or something like that. Have you ever thought about any of these things post competition?
Yes, post competition, I would like to be a full time coach. Still training myself, learning other different martial arts that I don't have the time for right now.
Mm.
Since I'm focused on boxing and kickboxing. Also, I just want to be a family man. The main goal is to be a father, not a world champion, not nothing. Being the dad.
Why that stress? Why be? You didn't say husband. You didn't say this. You said father. You want children?
Yes.
God bless.
I,
Why do you want to be a dad so bad?
because I looked up to my father growing up, and I'm like, okay, he taught me. I want to pass it on now.
God
I
bless.
feel like as a man, that's the biggest achievement I could have.
I agree. I agree 100%. I have many titles. None are as heavy and none are as great as father. And it's the one that I cherish the most, and also scares the shit out of me the most, because, man, I get one crack at this. You know what I mean? This is all I got. And if I fuck this up, it's something that I dwell on heavily in all aspects of my life. But I also always knew I wanted to be a dad. Even when I was like 18, 19, 20 years old, it was about finding the right woman, you know what I mean? But like there was never a question about like whether or not I wanted kids. I always knew that I wanted to be a dad. So I like the fact that you said father and not, oh, I want to have a wife, or I want, because like that's usually what people say, I want a wife and kids, you know what I mean? But for me, it was also the same of like, obviously to have children, you have to meet the woman, right? Um, and I do love my wife immensely, but the love for my daughter, and I'm sure she would agree with me on this one, the love for my daughter, it overshadows every other relationship I have on this planet, including the relationship with my wife. To that end, what does dating look like for you?
Oh, I'm single. I'm pretty much dating fighting right now.
Well, you want to be a dad. You can't have kids on with fighting. So I mean, I'm curious. What is dating like in 2025? God bless.
I would say I don't know. I've never experienced it, but God has the right timing for me.
Have you ever thought about meeting someone like? And the only reason I bring this up is with regards to dating. There's like such stress with like advancements in technology, dating apps, and all this other shit. But I found that I had the most success with the people that were in my direct vicinity: school, work, the gym, what have you, church. Have you ever thought about those inner circles around you and how that could possibly be conducive to meeting the right woman?
Maybe, yeah. I would like to meet somebody that likes to work out and train, but if that doesn't happen, God has other plans for me as far as that sense.
I don't know. I don't envy single people today, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. Me and my wife talk about it all the time. We're like, thank God we found each other, because I don't know how I do dating now. And then we'll joke around if we were talking about like, oh, what happens if something happens to me or if something happens to her? You know what I mean? And I would make some jokes. I'd be like, at least at least wait like 1 year before you find another man. Be sad for a little bit. She's like, don't worry, I'll find him in another week. But I'm glad that you think that way. I think that is the correct way for all men to think personally, because I think it's so much, it makes men better when they think about the next generation, because then it limits their own ego and their own pride and their own greed and vanity, because they realize that they're temporary. I won't be here forever. So let's pour this into others who will outlive me. I think that's the better way to live. I don't know, but that's just where my
One
head's
hundred
at.
percent. You can't have an ego. You see it all the time. When a fighter gets too cocky, he eventually falls off.
I disagree on the fighting aspect, though. I think in fighting, you have to have the ultimate ego. You have to believe you're the shit. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. No one can touch me. I have to have a sharp mind. I have to have a heart. I have to have a mind that's impenetrable by doubt.
Oh yeah, for sure on that. But what I mean by cocky, you see fighters on social media posting, "Oh, I'm the best. I'm doing this." You're saying stuff when you haven't done it.
Mm.
You're giving a false sense.
What about manifesting? You ever heard of that? Like,
Oh,
if I
manifest.
say it, it'll happen.
Yeah, but you can say that to yourself.
Out
You don't have to say it to
loud.
yeah. You can say I'm a good fighter. You can say I'm
So
gonna.
what you're saying is, on the outside, you're like, oh, I'm just this. But on the inside, Chris is
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh
fuck you
yeah. Oh
up.
yeah. I do that all the time. I talk to myself about that kind of stuff.
What is the internal dialogue like?
Oh, it's like, oh, I'm fighting the guy. Okay, I'm gonna watch him fight. Okay, I got him. And now I gotta think. Okay, what am I gonna do?
So we've kind of briefly talked about fighting. I'm still a little curious as to when I understand that you always enjoyed martial arts, even from a young age. When was it that you had your first like boxing match?
I was 18,
18. Oh, so
I,
you've only been competing now for like 4 years.
but I started training when I was 6.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I've learned stuff in the gym, and people say he looks better than his experience because I had that time in the gym to get confidence. Went through every doubt in the gym.
Yeah, you've been competing for 4 years, but you've been training for what, 18? Yeah, that's a good amount of time. Actually, 16 years. That's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, your father is here with you. I'm getting the sense that he has been there for the majority of this
Oh yeah, my father's been
path.
my father's been at every step of the way. Pretty much, if I'm getting hit too much in sparring, he'll tell me, "Hey, Chris, come here." He's always criticized me. It was the first time on Friday he said, "Just do what you're doing." That's the happiest I've been in a while.
Really?
Yep.
Dad is also the coach.
He just tells me little bits and tips. He researches himself so he can help me out.
How does that make you feel knowing that your parents support this? Does it add fuel to the fire? Is it just like perhaps a hurdle that could have been present that just isn't? Or do you find strength in it?
I
Like you want to
find
make them proud?
I find strength in it. Not that I want to make them proud. I know they're proud of me. It just gives me that motivation to keep going because they believe I could do it.
Mm, I'm glad you said it that way. When I was younger, I had to hide martial arts from my family. I had to lie to my mom and my dad. Uh, just because I was worried about their reaction to it. When my mom passed, I had accumulated a record of like 4-0 in MMA before like I told my dad like, hey, by the way, I'm doing this thing and I'm actually kind of decent at it, so please don't be too mad at me. And then my dad hates it, but like this is hard to explain. My dad hates it, but then he would be there for every fight. He'd want to be in my corner. He'd want to be in the back with me. Like he was supporting it, but also I just think he didn't want to see me get hit, to be honest with you. What is your relationship like with your father in this sport? Do you feel like he enjoys the sport? Do you feel like he's only doing this because you're passionate about it? What is that relationship like with your old man and fighting?
I feel like he enjoys it as well. He watches drills and all that stuff. He doesn't like me to get hit. He's told me he doesn't want me to do it, but he realized, okay, he enjoys it way too much, so I'm not gonna butt in. And once I started getting better and keep growing, he told me I was gonna quit. I was gonna go full time in my job, go back to school, and then too many things with God started happening. I'm like, my boss, Beth, my manager Beth, she's never. I've been there 2 years, never asked me about fighting. I decided I wanted to quit. She says, "Hey, Chris, somebody I know said they seen you fight." And then I went to the ambassador boxing card because I haven't boxed since like January. I've been more kickboxing. They said, "Where you been at?" I'm at the door. And a lot of people shaking my hand. I'm like, okay, I got to get to work next week. I told Jamie as soon as possible I want to fight again.
Do you like that notoriety?
I do in a sense. I realize, okay, people enjoy it, so they're having a good time. Not a sense of like it's building my ego up or nothing.
But surely you enjoy like when people come up, dab you up. Hey, Chris, what's going
Oh
on,
yeah, that
brother?
makes me feel good about myself.
You're the popular guy.
Yeah, it does. But it also makes me want to, okay, I want to train hard
Mm.
so to have more people want to watch me fight. More people see, okay, he's expressing stuff. He has a good heart when he's fighting. More not so of, oh, everybody wants to see me fight because I'm this big, good fighter. No.
I feel like you have a maturity to you in which you tackle this, and you're bringing up morality and these intangibles often about being a good person, having a kind heart, helping one another. Why do you think you feel so passionate about these things? Like, why is it that you? I know a lot of people that are good people, but they don't necessarily see the value in this as uh, effectively as you do. So where does this come from?
This just comes from like going to school. In this place, you just see people being mean, and it's like I got to the point where I was 15 when I was in therapy for anxiety and stuff. I'm like, I just want to uplift everybody. There's too many people always bringing people down and stuff. I want to be that guy. People say you're in a bad mood. Go talk to Chris. He'll brighten your mood.
Were people bullying you and doing that stuff to you when you were younger?
More mentally because I've always been in the gym, so you're not gonna touch me. That was always my rule. You have to touch me.
Forgive me. Let me change the question because I totally understand, but I think that the mental abuse is much more damaging than the physical abuse. We always say that external boo boos heal, but internal boo boos are forever.
Oh, oh, for sure. It's a lot. It's a lot harder than getting hit because that goes away. You remember, oh, I don't like this person, but if
I
you have a
remember the
hurt,
stupid shit they say too. I'm
yeah,
32 years old. I still remember the things when I was like 7 or 8 or 9, where I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe like this person. I let that affect me as much as I did."
yeah, it's just a part of growing. I'm the same way. I'm like, I can't believe I got this mad. I can't believe I did this dumb stuff.
Over these people that I don't talk to anymore and don't see, and God knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
Do you think that's just like I think that's just the human experience, regardless. Like I didn't have anything like what you experienced, right? But I find that children, they tend to other people because it's like a defense mechanism. Like they want to be like everybody else. They want to wear the same things. They want to act the same way. They want to kind of be amongst the herd because it allows them to kind of hide within the numbers. And I think when we're younger, it's really hard to be like the outlier
mhm,
or the trendsetter,
yeah,
which is funny because then when you get older, it's like the trendsetters, the outliers are the ones that push society, and like the people that want to just be a part of the herd are the ones that just kind of like mosey on through life.
for sure, 100% on that. When I was younger, I wanted to fit in, and I just realized once I accepted, okay, I'm just gonna be me, and I realized I was more well liked for being myself than trying to fit in.
When did that happen? Middle school, high school?
Middle school.
Yeah.
I've always been, even when I was in therapy, she said, "You're very wise for your age. Your maturity level is really high." So I just figured things out.
Rolled with it.
Yeah, rolled with it.
Are there any people from like those days that you kind of still keep in touch with, or at this point is it just like the majority of the people at work and at the gym?
Oh no, my closest friend, Karagiannis, I've known him. I'm 22. I've known him since I was 11.
Mm.
We've been like best
Tight.
buds, like brothers since that age. So he's seen me through every growth. He's seen me at my lowest, seen me high, and I've seen him.
I know that you say that your goal with fighting is like to just like do your best and to put out the best performance, and but surely winning is better than losing, right? I've seen you win fights, I've seen you lose fights. what is the mentality of each for you? When you say that you're out there to do your best performance, I'm curious if you're practicing what you preach.
Oh yeah, for sure. I stopped caring about winning fights like after my third boxing fight. I don't really care about. I want to test myself and know that I prepare my best. Whatever happens, I'm okay with it. I may be in my feelings because I lost for a little bit, but you got to move on. I can't say, oh, I lost this fight, I'm gonna quit. You'll never.
Definitely not that. Yeah, definitely not that. But I don't know. I guess my question was like, man, I catered so much of my value and everything to winning. I really did. Uh, to the point where losing or even the thought of losing was just so detrimental to my mentality. Like I wanted to be a winner just for the sake of winning. Actually, I changed that. I didn't care about winning. I cared about not losing. So like whenever I was competing, I didn't care about how I won or like whether it was a finish or this. I just cared that I didn't lose. I didn't want anybody to beat me. I don't know why that was the case. Like I truly, because now in my life, I'm like, I don't give a shit. You know, I really don't care now. But when I was your age, 22, 23, 24, I put so much weight on myself because I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to lose. So like when I'm talking to you and you're like, you know, you win some, you lose some, do the best you can. That's a foreign concept to me. To me, that doesn't make sense in my brain. So can you help me wrap my head around how you arrived to this? How is it that you don't care about obviously you don't want to get hurt, right? So like winning probably ensures that your propensity to get hurt is less because if you lose, chances are you got hurt, right? So like you say, and forgive me if I'm kind of harping on this, it's just something that I can't wrap my head around. You say that you're like trying to like test yourself, totally understand that. You say you're trying to be the best version of yourself, totally understand that. But when you say like win, lose, or draw, it is what it is. That's where you lose me. We're just different people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I almost don't believe you that you think that.
it's just different. I've always had that different mentality. I know if I gave it my best, win, lose, or draw, I'm okay with the outcome. Because winning is not everything. When I was younger, I wanted to win stuff in school, but now that I got older, I just want to be safe. Get out the ring. Less marks, no bruises. I'm fine. To me, that's a win. If I don't have a black eye, busted rib, broken jaw,
Whatever.
that's a win. Even if I lost the fight, that's a win to me.
Hmm.
I get to go on. I still get to train. I get to go to work. Get to go home. Or to me, losing is if I got knocked out, I got hurt. I got hurt really bad where I'm going to be out.
For a
Out of,
while.
yeah,
Out from the gym, out from work, what have you.
yeah.
I think you're just a better man than I said this on a previous podcast, and I'll say it to you too. I don't think I ever fell in love with martial arts. I think I fell in love with competition and winning, but I don't even think I wanted to win. I just think like I just didn't want to lose. And because I was winning, I was like, okay, well, let's see how long we can go. You know what I mean? When I when I objectively look at my career now, I start to think to myself like, I hate to say it this way, but maybe my approach was not was not the right one. I like to think that my mentality and my approach was correct. The more I talk to other fighters, the more yourself, Jamie, Jordan Dowdy, Sean Woodson, all these guys, you know what I mean? Mob, every fighter that I've had on, including the coaches, I'm realizing that so many people tackle, it's the same thing, right? We're all doing the same thing. We're all fighting. But it's so crazy to see all these angles in which we've all entered this arena and how everyone seems to be doing it differently. And I don't think there is like a right way, like a golden path. I think it's like the right way for those people, like a different not it's not a one size fits all, and that different things will work for different people. I guess for you, the driving force is to be the best version of yourself, regardless of outcome, which I'm kind of envious of. That's like you've kind of hit like this like a Buddhist monk mentality of like it's all good in the hood. That's cold, man. That's dope.
That also takes time. When I was a kid, I'm like, oh yeah, when I'm 18.
You were a kid, motherfucker. You're 22.
I know, like a little
You
kid.
are a kid.
When I was a little kid.
He's like, nah, when I was little, now I'm older.
I'm still a kid, yeah. I'm still a young adult, but when I was a kid, I thought that
I don't mean to little man you like that. You're an adult. You're 22, but I remember when I was 22, boy, I was dumb as fuck.
We're all good. I just want, when I was a kid, oh, I want to win. I want to get this. I want to do this. I want to prove it. But once I stopped caring of, I got to prove something, I just want to have fun with this.
Do you mind if I ask? Because you were talking about like going to school or like work and stuff like that. Outside of fighting, how much time do you spend thinking about your career, work, these other things? Is it even like a factor to you, or is it just basically like fighting is my only thing?
Fighting's the only thing that I'm doing something I love, so I can make a career out of coaching. I've helped a lot of people. I usually do it for free, but if I had bills or other stuff, I'll do it
Yeah.
more privates for money or charge a little more.
Well, hopefully we never get to that point where it's like finances start to take over. I think that in a lot of ways, money is the root of all evil. That being said, I've been poor and I've been wealthy, and I choose wealth all the time. And it allows me to do all the shit that I want to do, this podcast, coaching, whatever. However, I never want to get to the point where I need to. That's the thing. You want to have money so that you can do the things that you want to do the way you want to do them. But you don't want to feel like you have to do these things to make money. Like I get to do podcasts because I want to do podcasts. But if like I had to make money doing podcasts, like that would suck. Like that would be like super stressful, you know what I mean? Or coaching people, like, dude, if I coach the high schoolers for free. If I felt like I needed the money and like I had to coach for money, I think that would just kind of like maybe the reason I love doing it is because I don't need money. And I could just do it however I want to do it, whenever I want to do it. Maybe there's like a science to that.
Yeah, for sure. But the whole money thing, if I needed to charge more money, of course. If I
Yeah.
have bills, girlfriend, kids, of course. That's another income to support my family.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, I live with my parents. I'm in a good position where I make money. I don't make the best money, but
Dude, you're
I,
22. When I was 22, I had like three pennies I could rub together. You know what I mean? So I just graduated from school. I had like $15,000 of student loan debt. Like I was broke until about 25, 26. Then it's not like I had money. I was just like, all right, I can
yeah.
sustain myself fine now.
And I feel like you enjoy it because, okay, you're giving back your knowledge. You don't have to do it, but
100% on that. You said earlier that like you want to have kids because like your father kind of bestowed upon you a bunch of things that you honor and cherish and you want to bestow upon others. I think that's how all knowledge is. Like we don't own anything. We borrow it. And then it's our job to give it to the next generation or not even the next generation. It could be someone older than us or whoever, right? Someone gave us something and it's our job to give that to as many people as we can, whether that's martial arts, whether that's wrestling, whether that's whatever it is. I think that's the human condition.
for,
Maybe. I don't know. What the
for
fuck do
sure,
I know?
I think it's the human condition.
I'm a
You,
foreign man from a foreign land. So.
so I'm Greek, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
Karagiannis. Yeah, that makes sense. Were you born in Greece or?
No, here, my dad was born in Greek.
Gotcha.
I can't speak it, but if they're talking Greek, I can understand. I can understand it. My grandfather, who I'm named after, was the same way with English. He can't speak English to save his life when he was living, but he could watch a movie and tell you exactly what's going
What's
on.
going on? Yeah, yeah. He can hear it and he can understand it. It's just when he wants to verbalize it, it's
Yeah,
difficult. Yeah. So Chris is your full name, or is Chris like short for something?
Christopher Jacob, and then my last name.
Karagiannis. Well, Chris, man. Before we put a nightcap on this, before we end this episode, is there anything that you wanted to discuss or go over that we haven't done so already?
No, we did a good job. I feel like I just like to give some shout outs to Jamie. Thank you. He made me actually fall in love with kickboxing again, and the only reason if I said I want to get belts, be a pro, is just to make his name known. Because out of every coach I have, nobody works as hard as him.
Really?
Like he'll give the shirt of his back, do this for free, help be at the gym at 6 a.m. sometimes to like 4 on a Saturday.
You said that he helped you fall back in love with it.
Yeah.
So then there was a
What?
moment where
Yeah, it was a
you
moment
fell
with
out of love with it.
yeah. With kick,
Why? What happened there?
I can't really. I guess since I've been kicking since I was a kid, I just got burnt out. And then I met Jamie. I'm like, okay, I I wanted to kickbox amateur, get do a few things, but now I'm like, maybe I want to see how far I can take it because of just how Jamie is. He always checks. He makes sure everything's going good. He knows if he doesn't see me in 2 days, hey, I gotta hit Chris up.
Keeps you honest.
Yeah, he keeps me honest.
You say that he's unlike a coach that you've had previously. Can you describe some of the coaches you've had before
Huh.
without naming names,
Of
obviously?
course, I've had like old school karate when I started, like mean generation, like belittle you if you do something wrong. I've just had it. I've had it all. I've had good coaches. I had more I have good coaches, bad coaches, but I've never seen a coach that puts that much time into everybody in the gym and make sure everything goes.
Let me ask you another question. Forgive me, and then we'll get back on to Jamie. Do you feel like there's value in bad coaches by virtue of comparing them and to give honor to the good coaches? It's kind of like you can't experience a peak if you've never had a valley, right? So like when you have a bad coach, to then have a good coach will make you appreciate that good coach even more because you know how bad it could be.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why I like Jamie a lot. I've had the bad
I've had some bad
coaches.
coaches. That's why I also tell people when Jamie was on here, we were talking about cross training, and I was like, I think cross training is probably one of the best things for gyms for 3 reasons. Number one, we were talking about culture earlier, and every gym's gonna have a different culture, right? So it's like the church might be your type of people. And if you go to St. Charles MMA, that's different kinds of people. And if you go to Wolves Den, that's different kinds of people. It's not good or bad. It doesn't really, that's not what I'm trying to harp on. What I'm saying is like there will be different gyms with different cultures that have affinity towards different people. You know what I mean? You'll find your people. And I think once you do, that is actually maybe the most important thing for the majority of people. Because the majority of people aren't going to fight at a high level. The majority of people that go to the gym aren't like trying to compete to be the best in the world. So then if you're not going for that endeavor, I hate to say it this way, the training then isn't the most important. It's everything else. The camaraderie, the community, the friends you make, the people around you, how safe you feel with them. I think the value in that community aspect will supersede anything you learn from martial arts or any of the competition that you'll have. That's number one. Number two, if you are trying to be the best in the world, you have to cross train because no one person knows everything. You like Jamie, and Jamie's like your kind of people, and you love having him as a coach. But I think even Jamie would tell you, I don't know everything. I'm sure you can go to other gyms and learn something. And the beauty of cross training is you can learn something and then bring that back to your community. So you can have the competitive knowledge and then amplify those people around you, that community, that culture, and make your gym better. And lastly, cross training allows you to get rid of bad apples. Because if we're talking about community and culture and everything, nothing will ruin a gym faster than like one person that doesn't. I want to be careful of the way I word this because it's not like that person's bad or, you know what I mean, like a cancer or anything like that. But if you have like-minded individuals and you start incorporating people that don't think like everybody else, it's not to make it sound culty or whatever, but they're going to poke holes and they're going to prod and they're going to kind of disturb that peace. And it's actually better if they cross-train and find a place more similar to them, their culture, their wants, their needs. It kind of allows you to kind of take away some of that friction from a gym because we've all been to the gym where like you got like 80 people and like 1 or 2 of them are just like kind of cunts. Like, get the fuck out of here, guys. We don't need you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let them cross-train.
Yeah, let
Bye-bye.
them bye-bye.
Yeah.
100%.
Because then you're not the one kicking them out.
They're
left of
going.
their own. They left of their own free will. They figured that out on their own. So I'm curious to you. Do you value cross training? Do you do cross training?
I don't. In kickboxing sense, no, because a lot of guys from other gyms come to Jamie's to sport. So we're pretty.
So you think you're getting the cross training by virtue of just being there?
Yeah, but being there, training with people. But cross training is good to a sense if you know that like the culture's for you. Since you meet everybody at the fights, it's like, okay, I'm gonna cross train with him, pick his knowledge up, add to my game. Maybe with Jamie, he corners me because I'm working with both now.
Well, yeah, I mean, for sure, you're going to bring that back to your coaches, and then your coaches will also incorporate that as well. I mean, it's not as if like Jamie cross training and then coming back doesn't help you, and then you going and cross training and coming back doesn't help Jamie. It's like it's all a pool of knowledge that we're all kind of pouring into. Brother, that is all I had. I want to say thank you. I know that some of these things are kind of awkward to talk about, or perhaps a little bit more invasive. My goal for this conversation was to sit down and have a conversation with you, and to ask some of the questions that were just kind of pertinent to me. I got to also learn a lot about you. I know of you, but to sit down and talk to you helps me learn you. So thank you. I just wanted to say I appreciate your time and coming down here. I hope this was what you thought it would be.
Yeah, it's exactly what I expected. I'm glad I had the opportunity.
Awesome. We'll do it again sometime. Maybe you know what I wanted to do? I'll ask you this. This is what we'll end with. I've been thinking about doing like a podcast, but like in a group setting to where like I could bring in some people from, because we have so many gyms here. And what I wanted to do when we were talking about culture and stuff like that is like maybe bring in one of the head coaches and then bring in like two or three of the students and then talk about the gym. And then use that as like a way for people to see if whether or not this is like a place that they might want to gravitate towards. So like I could do one with like you, Jamie, Trayvon Crawford, the guys that train over at the church, you know what I mean? And then I could do one with like Mike Rogers and Travis Draper and Jake Roberts. And I could do another one with like Jared Daniels Block and Terrell Ursery or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't know how we would like functionally execute that, right? Because you need so many cameras, you need so many microphones and stuff like that. But it's been something I've been thinking about.
I think that'd be a really cool idea, actually,
Yeah.
to get more people's
Yeah, because
opinions
then
on the fight community, gyms, and stuff.
you can also see how people interact with one another. You know what I mean? Like how they vibe with like
Yep.
with their coaches and stuff like that. I think if there's anything I've learned in the last 5 years of my life, it's that the majority of people are cool. The majority of people are good, hardworking, honest, just good people. It's just that, you know, sometimes you have to do a little bit of like searching to kind of dig in past that skin layer of like, oh, hey, how you doing? Good day, you know, walk out the door. It's like everybody that I've met for the majority has been very pleasant to interact with and has amplified my life. It just maybe took a 15-minute conversation to get to that point first. So, Chris, fortunately for me, I had an hour with you. So I wanted to say thank you, brother. Thank you for
You're
being on
welcome.
Easy Talk.
You're welcome. Glad. Hopefully, I could come back.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, maybe the one we do with Jamie.
Okay.